At this point, I melt the butter and then I add my garlic to sear it. But my pan was not hot enough, so I had to wait a little bit. Then I paused and I actually forgot to record, but I added the sausages and the chicken. From this point on, I let my mom handle the pan because it was getting too hot and start to add the rice. Next is just frying the rice with the other ingredients until the meat is cooked enough. And I prefer to use butter rather than oil, just because butter is actually healthier than oil. Even though butter contains saturated fats, but these fats are heart healthy. At this point, I already transferred the fried rice to the aluminum foil tray and start to packing all of them with cheese. And before I transferred them to the aluminum foil tray, I mixed in some nori sheets after it's done. I also did not record that just because the background was too noisy and stuff. First, I'm going to layer everything with cheddar cheese. Next is mozzarella cheese. I just put an even amount of mozzarella every single side, and I like to put a lot of mozzarella because I like cheese and it just makes everything taste good. And I did not add too much seasoning to the rice because the cheese is going to be really salty and I do not want the rice to be too salty so that they'll be even. Okay, the next part. I already finished putting all the cheese on top of the rice. Now I am going to put the rice into the oven and let it bake for 20 minutes until the cheese is melted and a little roasted. At this point, I was kind of shaking just because the oven is really hot. And you have to make sure the oven is hot so that you do not need to wait long enough. At this point, when it came out of the oven, it is nice and brown on the top, but it's not overcooked in the inside or undercooked. It was